As morning light pours softly into the space where you find yourself, take a breath and remember that I am speaking to you now. Let this word meet you just as you are in the hush before the day fully arrives, or perhaps in the quiet shelter of night. You have been searching for assurance, craving a sign that your steps are seen, your heart is understood. I am here, closer than the very air you draw in, already whispering peace where you feared there would only be silence. Let expectation stir within you, for I am not distant or distracted. I am drawing near, inviting you to lean in, to listen, to let hope quietly within your spirit. You may wonder if today holds any real change, if your prayers have made it beyond the ceiling, if your gratitude goes unnoticed. But every moment you have set aside, however small, to thank me. Each honest confession of worry, even the sighs you try to stifle, have been gathered up with tenderness. I know the weight you carry for those you love. I see the names you lift in trembling hope. You do not have to hide from me. No anxiety is too loud, no question too basic, no yearning too persistent for my attention. Whenever you steady your heart to remember me, there I am already holding your cares before you utter a single word. Let your senses remind you of my nearness. Listen to the steady rhythm of your breath, the subtle warmth across your cheek, the way sunlight finds the corner of your room, or the gentle hush of rain against your window. These are not accidents. Each moment is an invitation to pause and realize how often I have surrounded you, even in ordinary places. Breathe again. Feel your heart beating within you. That is the rhythm of my faithfulness. I am shaping you with every sunrise, with every quiet act of gratitude, molding you into someone who is both rooted and open for what I will do next this day. Let gratitude become your first response. Before questions rise, before worries tumble, forward. Choose to notice a single small good thing, a familiar voice, a warm drink, a chance to rest your hand on a loved one's shoulder. These simple scenes are gifts that awaken you to what I have already poured out. Gratitude will quiet fear's voice and sharpen your senses to what is real, what is present, what is mine. When heaviness lingers, pause and whisper thanks, even if only for a breath. In those moments, you are not abandoned. You are being rebuilt from the inside out. There are burdens you have carried so long that they almost feel like part of who you are. Family concerns, hopes for the people dearest to your heart, situations you have tried to fix with your hands, but now seem only to tighten around you. Let me assure you, your family is not forgotten. Every person you hold in your prayers, I hold even closer. My gaze does not skip over your household. Even in the tension between wanting and waiting, I am at work in ways you cannot yet see. Release your grip, little one. Allow me to do what you cannot. Trust does not mean apathy. It means surrender. Confident that my love for them is deeper and wiser than all your striving. When anxiety creeps in and clouds your judgment, remember that I am your strong place. Picture yourself held steady under my shield, safe even while storms murmur at the edges of your mind. You are not expected to chase every answer or foresee every outcome. Instead, come and rest in the knowledge that I am already ahead of you, paving the way through shadowed valleys, preparing goodness before you arrive. You do not need to beg for my attention or earn my favor. My delight in you is not fickle. It is steady, anchored in who I have called you to be. Let every morning serve as a fresh invitation. When doubts press in, what if I fail again? What if the prayers I pray over my family go unanswered? Lift your eyes. My faithfulness has never hinged on your perfection, but on my promise. Each new day holds a chance to rest, to release, to trust that my plans unfold at the right pace. I am not in a hurry, and I invite you to step out of the rush. Let patience shape your tone and your actions. In stillness, I am working. In waiting, I am present. You may wonder, will I recognize my answer when it comes? Will the peace I crave actually settle within me? Listen, beloved. Peace is not the absence of challenge, but the quiet assurance that you are never alone within it. Imagine my hand resting firmly on your shoulder. In every anxious night, every uncertain morning, that is where you find me. Not in the noise, but in the settled certainty that I am for you, not against you. Let that reality sink in as you move through this day, knowing that nothing you face can separate you from my attentive kindness. There is much more I desire to show. You, do not rush ahead. Taste the present. Let gratitude sharpen your vision and bring me even your smallest thoughts. There is beauty ahead, woven through each waiting moment, hidden in the corners of daily life, breaking forth in surprising joy when you least expect it. Stay close. Keep listening. What I have begun in you, I will complete. You are never lost, never forgotten. All that is needed is your willingness to be present with me right now. The journey continues and I walk every step beside you. I see into every hidden place within you, child. Even the corners you shield from yourself, your doubts, your anger, your weariness. I know them all, and none of it repels me. You are never alone in your wandering thoughts or your ache for purpose. Let yourself rest in my presence just as you are now, because the weight of your complexities does not exhaust me. I made you with depth and intention. Every longing that stirs in you, every desire for meaning is a signpost toward me. When shame presses on your spirit and tells you that you are seen only for your failures, remember this. My gaze is ever compassionate, unwavering, and full of hope. I see not just where you have been, but all that you might become in the light of my love. There is no need to perform for me, to shape your prayers with perfect words, or hide your struggles behind a mask of piety. I hear your whispered questions, the ones you think are too small or too raw for my attention. Bring them to me. I am listening more deeply than you can imagine. When you speak to me, let your words be honest, even if they are tangled or uncertain. I will not recoil from your burdens. Instead, I long for you to lay them down before me, to discover that my heart is infinitely patient and gentle. You may believe that your life is defined by what the world notices, the accolades, the failures, the way others measure your worth. But I look upon you with a love unconcerned with such fleeting judgments. I am moved not by outward achievement, but by your heart's openness to grace. In every moment you choose kindness over convenience, forgiveness over pride. You draw nearer to me, even when no one sees but us. Do not underestimate the quiet power of these choices. They shape you in ways deeper than you realize, aligning your spirit with mine. If you fear that you are forgotten, lost in the clamor of countless lives, hear me. My love is personal. I call you by name. In each sorrow you carry, I walk with you. When tears fall unseen on your pillow, I gather everyone, treasuring the truth of your experience. I do not grow weary of your repeated petitions, nor tire of your questions. My patience is without end. When you doubt whether I am present, remember that my presence is constant, faithful, even when you struggle to perceive it. I do not ask you for certainty, only for willingness, that you keep turning to me, even if your hope is as fragile as a flickering flame. The journey with me does not promise a life free of hardship, nor do I shield you from the consequence of choices your own or those of others. Yet in every trial, I pour out my sustaining grace. When disappointment weighs upon you or grief overwhelms you, are permitted to be human before me. I am not threatened by your sorrow. I hold space for it, cherishing your honest lament. Bring me your burdens and I will carry you. I do not promise you answers for every why, but I do promise you myself, my faithful presence, my unwavering kindness, and the hope that even the most bitter night will yield to morning. Let go of any measure that says you must earn my approval. There is nothing you can do to increase or lessen my love for you. Already you stand holy, beloved. Many voices in this world will assign you value based on their standards. But my love is not conditional. Rest here with me. Let my words quiet the storm of comparison in your mind. Your life finds its meaning not in outward achievement or the opinions of those around you, but in communion with me. As you acknowledge your limitations, your need, your pain, your imperfection, know that I cherish humility, not self-condemnation. In your brokenness, space is made for my grace to shine through. None are too far for my reach. Not the angry, not the doubting, not the weary soul who collapses in frustration. In moments when you cannot muster faith, let me carry you with mine. Trust is not the eradication of questions, but a willingness to let me hold you as you are. Uncertainties and all, do not imagine that your story is insignificant. The smallest gesture, a word spoken in compassion, a silent prayer for someone else, a hidden act of service is precious to me. The world may overlook such things, but the substance of goodness is never lost to my sight. Every sacrifice, every effort to love is woven into the story of redemption that I am working throughout creation. I see every moment you reach for hope, even in darkness. I draw near to you, especially there, enfolding you with comfort and strength. When bitterness threatens to harden your heart, remember that forgiveness is both my gift to you and yours to others. I do not command forgiveness as a burden, but as a way to reclaim your life from the power of resentment. When you choose to let go, even if only in trembling intention, I pour out my healing. You are not alone in this call. I supply what you cannot manufacture within yourself. My mercy for you and through you is never depleting. Allow yourself to approach me not with fear, but with the trust of one who is welcomed, wanted, deeply known. Nothing you confess can shock me or turn me away. I have seen humanity at its worst and do not flinch. My mercy is larger than your greatest failing. Every time you receive my forgiveness, every time you extend it to another, you participate in the redemption I offer to all. Continue forward, holding fast to hope even when it is fragile. My hand guides you not with coercion, but with invitation and steadfast love. Step by step, as you open your heart to me, I draw you into a life deeper and wider than your fears will allow you to imagine. In this journey, let me be your strength. Even in your weakness, my love will not fail you. I am with you and will be always. You wonder how my love can hold firm when your strength falters, or whether my presence recedes when you've stumbled again. You listen for my voice, and sometimes the silence feels endless, like a night with no hint of dawn. And you question whether you truly belong in my embrace. Yet even as you doubt, I am present, nearer than your breath, more persistent than your doubts. I do not measure your value by your relentless victories or the light you manage to kindle. It is your vulnerability and your willingness to reach for me in darkness that open the channels of grace between us. I am never repelled by your wounds or weariness. My compassion meets you where you are and draws you forward step by trembling step. When you fall, you may sense shame swirling around your soul, whispering accusations that you have disappointed me or distanced yourself beyond forgiveness. These distortions do not come from me. Shame seeks to imprison, but I am the God who frees. Every misstep is a place where my mercy gathers, cushioning you, lifting you to begin again. I do not withdraw or grow weary of your struggles. My patience is not like human patience that may erode with time or frustration. Mine endures unyielding because I know you through and through. What you see as failure, I transform into avenues of growth. I invite you again and again into relationship. For love is not exhausted by your weakness. It finds its purpose there. You may think you need to bring me heroic faith or flawless goodness to remain beloved. But I cherish honesty over bravado and welcome your smallest acts of trust. Bring me the uncertainty, the tiniest offerings of hope, the honest questions that rise in your chest when life disappoints or loneliness gnaws. I cherish not your perfection, but your presence, however unsteady. You long to hear my guidance. Sometimes I answer in quiet nudges or deep peace. Sometimes through the hands and voices of those I send to encourage you. But do not mistake my quieter ways for absence. I always see you. One sigh for me does not go unnoticed. One tear is treasured. I urge you, let go of the burden that says you need to fix yourself before turning your face to me. I am not holding myself at a distance waiting for you to meet impossible standards. You do not earn my love. It is the air that surrounds you, the warmth that steadies your steps whether you perceive it or not. Permit yourself to rest, to breathe, to believe you are worthy of care. The weary and heavy laden are my closest companions, and I never scorn a heart that has been battered by life's storms. My spirit endlessly seeks you with gentleness, not berating, but tenderly calling your heart home. Let me carry what is too much for you. Open your hands and release the burdens you've mistakenly named as yours alone. As you walk forward, there will be days where your heart feels cold or numb, unable to sense the fire of devotion. I am not disappointed in you for these seasons. The soul has winters as well as springs. Trust that even in stillness, seeds of renewal are quietly at work within you. I am patient with your slow awakenings. I delight in your smallest turn toward me. Nothing is wasted in my sight, not even your longing or your silence. Do not measure our relationship by feelings that shift with circumstance. Anchor your hope in my promise that remains the same yesterday, today, and forever. If others fail you or misunderstand your heart, bring your aches to me. I see beyond the surface, beyond reputation or mistakes, gazing always upon the truest version of you, the beloved one I formed with purpose and care. I rejoice to call you my own, not because you are without flaws, but because you are mine. Your worth to me does not degrade with your disappointments, nor is it enhanced by your successes. I celebrate who you are in your essence, and nothing can alter the devotion I offer. My love does not ebb and flow like the tide, but remains as constant as my own being. Be gentle with yourself, for I am gentle with you. When you stumble, do not punish yourself with harshness or withdrawal. Instead, come close to me, for I long to heal your sorrows and set you upon your feet. My forgiveness is not on reserve. Mete it out sparingly, but floods toward you when you open yourself, wave after wave, cleansing, renewing. Let yourself taste the freedom I offer without trying to make yourself worthy first. My invitation always stands. Return to me with all your heart, and you will find compassion, not condemnation. My arms are open, not to scold, but to embrace. Every moment you turn toward me, whether in joy or final exhaustion, you participate in the life I intend for you. A life of honest surrender, of hope reborn despite all evidence to the contrary, of faith that ripens quietly through every season. As you yield your burdens, you create space for my strength to become your own. Even what seems unremarkable to you, a sigh, a whispered prayer, a stubborn resolve to keep going, delights me, for it is the mark of growing intimacy between us. Remember, you are never alone in your wrestling. My compassion surrounds you as you grapple with doubts, with despair, with the constant ache for belonging. I walk every road beside you, understanding each fear and rejoicing in each faint shimmer of trust. Nothing can separate you from my love, for it is more enduring than your failures and more determined than your fears. I promise to finish what I have begun in you, to shape you through patience and mercy until my goodness is reflected in your very being. You are not defined by yesterday's regrets, nor disqualified by today's frailty. The story I am writing with you is marked not by your perfection, but by my relentless and redeeming grace. So come as you are, beloved, again and again to the place where your wounds become windows for my light, where your weakness becomes the home for my strength. Well, I see the struggles you carry, the quiet sighs when hope feels faint, and I cherish every moment you trust me with your pain. I never turn away from your distress. I linger with you in it, letting each tear fall upon my heart. Do not mistake my gentle patience for absence. Every night, every question, every flickering doubt, I am nearer than the breath within your chest. I understand how heavy this journey often feels, how the world's harsh judgments can wound even the strongest spirit. When you are misunderstood or dismissed, remember I see you fully, and what I see is so beloved to me. Let yourself rest, even if only for a moment, in the truth that you are not alone. My presence surrounds you, steady and unbreakable. I have not asked you to carry burdens I will not help you lift. Your weaknesses do not offend me. They draw my compassion closer. Come to me with your frustrations, your fears, and even your anger. I delight in your honesty. Nothing shocks me. Nothing distances my love. It is not your perfection I cherish. I find joy in your willingness to bring your whole self before me, trembling and real. allowing me to soothe wounds that lie deeper than words. As you walk forward, know that you are free to hope again. Hope is not a fragile thing, in my care. Where you see only walls, I see the unmade doors and the light beyond them. There are seasons where waiting can feel like wandering, where the silence between questions and answers stretches out into ache. Trust that even in silence, I am working for your good. My word for you is not one of punishment or withholding, but of steadfast kindness. Even your confusion can become holy ground when you linger with me there, letting your heart be known and trusting my gentleness. My love for you comes without conditions. It is anchored in who I am, not in what you achieve. Even when the world measures your value by your accomplishments or the rhythm of your days, my gaze finds your worth in your very being. I made you with intention, delighting in every detail, and I do not regret what I have made. When shame tries to whisper lies about your identity, hear my voice louder. You are precious, cold, and chosen. There is no wound or failure that can sever my embrace. Do not hesitate to bring me the things you feel are too trivial, too messy, or too tangled to untangle. My hands are skilled at healing what seems beyond repair. Where pain persists or memories echo sharply, I do not recoil. Instead, I gather those jagged pieces and hold them with infinite care, shaping redemption, even when you cannot see its outline yet. Trust that I am always for you, never against you. I want you healed, not merely patched together, but made whole. The path ahead may twist through deep valleys or climb sharp ridges, but I walk every step with you. Sometimes the road will open into sunlight and your soul will remember joy again. Other times shadows will linger and you will have to look hard to find me. Yet my promise remains unchanging. I will not leave you to face the unknown alone. Your prayers matter to me. Even the prayers you can barely name, the ones that rise up wordless, are heard and treasured. Let your heart be soft to grace, for I pour it out every morning. Mercy is not a rationed supply. It is a river that never runs dry. If you falter or fall again, do not hide in shame. Lift your face to me. I am already here. My love endures every storm, every silence, every anxious season. I welcome you into my presence, not as a guest, but as my beloved child. I long to fill your shoulders with comfort and your spirit with fresh courage. In moments when patience feels thin and answers seem far, lean into my faithfulness. I'm not in a hurry, but I never delay without purpose. What I start, I finish, sculpting even disruption into purpose. Let your trust grow steady, not because you always understand, but because you know who holds you. The deep questions and ache for meaning have a home in my heart. I receive your longing, and I will answer in ways that bless you, though sometimes they may surprise you. Your life carries meaning that cannot be lost or erased by detours and disappointments. I have carved your name into my memory. It will never fade or be forgotten. Every act of kindness, every secret struggle, every silent offering is seen and valued. When you feel invisible, recall that I call you by name, and my voice resounds louder than any verdict spoken over you by others. When you are ready, let hope breathe again in you, not by denying your hurt, but letting my light touch it. There is no darkness too dense for me to reach. Each new day is a gentle invitation to rise and meet me, to anchor your soul, not in fear, but in the certainty of my regard. You can bring me your hopes, your doubts, your fatigue, the fullness of your soul. I am not weary of you. My delight is as endless as my being. This journey is one we make together. When weariness creeps in and courage feels frail, rest against my strength. I give enough grace for this day and hold tomorrow safely in my hands. The questions that linger are not signs of weak faith, but of deep relationship. I welcome your seeking, rejoice in your trust, and honor your honesty. My purpose for you weaves through every high and low, never diminished, never lost. I walk with you into all that is coming, not as a silent observer, but as your shield, your joy, and your unchanging home. Beloved, let your heart rest in the certainty that nothing escapes my notice. Even as you walk paths shrouded with uncertainty or shadowed by sorrow, I am beside you. The longing within you for peace and justice is born of my own heart, for I have written my laws on your spirit, and your deepest yearning is for the good I intend. Though the world may seem to swirl beyond understanding or fairness, know that I am not distant. Every wound you carry, every ache of injustice, every prayer uttered through clenched sorrow fills my heart with compassion. I gather your tears and cradle them in hope. My care for you does not wane, not for a moment, even when silence seems to stretch between us. There are times you may wonder at the slowness of my answers. My timing frustrates and puzzles not only your mind, but your very soul. Remember this, I am never late or inattentive. While you wrestle with anxiety or confusion, I am working in unseen places, tending to the seeds of renewal that will one day break through the ground in your life. Trust that I do not waste a single moment of your pain. I do not demand blind acceptance of suffering, but invite you to seek me amid your questions. I will never scorn your honesty, your doubts, your pleadings. Even your anger are precious to me, for they are signs of your heart alive and engaged. Come to me, even if your words falter. Bring your longing. I meet you there. My faithfulness is not measured by the outcomes you desire, but by my unwavering presence. I know the shape and weight of every burden you bear. In your moments of feeling small or invisible, I draw closer still. There are graces you have not witnessed yet, joys quietly maturing, answers hidden until their fullness blooms. I am patient where you are restless, steadfast where you are weary. Hold on to the truth that your life with all its complexity and struggle is precious to me. You are neither lost nor overlooked. My love surrounds you at every turn, yes, even in despair. Be assured that my vision for you is rich with promise, though your path winds through valleys and storms. Sometimes you may feel that the world turns miles away from imagination or goodness. But I have planted my light in you to shine even where it seems darkness reigns. Your smallest acts of kindness, your secret prayers for others, your refusal to surrender to bitterness. These are treasures to me. They have a weight that transcends what the world can measure. Do not discount what is done in faith, hidden from the eyes of others. I see and cherish it all. You do not journey alone. I give you my spirit, guiding your steps and lending you strength when your own falters. When you lean into me, you share in my own endurance and hope. The peace I offer is different from the world's. It does not depend on calm circumstances, but it roots you in my unwavering embrace. Let your soul breathe in this rest. Even when fear or regret clamors for your attention, I call you to look toward me, to remember that I do not shame you for your frailty. I welcome you with delight. My mercy is ceaseless. I forgive freely when you ask, and I restore you gently when you fall. Let the knowledge of my affection for you become the bedrock of your confidence. You may not always feel strong or courageous, and that is no reason to despair. My strength is made whole in your weakness. Each time you reach beyond yourself in faith, even trembling, you open yourself to my grace. I am not measuring your worth by achievements or outward appearance. I am drawn to the core of who you are, for it is I who shaped you. What matters to me is the communion of your heart, the willingness to turn, to trust, to begin again. If you wonder about forgiveness, if doubt clouds your conviction that you truly belong to me, hear my voice now. There is no shadow so deep that my light cannot penetrate. The errors and guilt clinging to your past are not barriers, but invitations for my mercy. When you repent, I do not count your sins against you. I embrace you as my beloved child, washed clean, bearing no mark of accusation. Let this assurance embolden you to step forward in hope. I call you not to dwell in shame, but to rise in newness, walking each day as one dearly loved. Let the concerns of tomorrow rest in my hands. The world asks so much of you and often offers little clarity, yet I hold your tomorrows with tenderness and intention. Each day my grace is sufficient. Seek me and I will continue to make a way for you. I am already in your future, preparing and guiding, just as I have been in every page before. In the uncertainty, hold fast to me, for I am your constant. My plans for you are rooted in love, working all things together for a deeper good, even when the path is hidden from your sight. If you are weary, come to me. Lay down the burdens you cannot carry alone. Let me lift the weight from your shoulders and fill your emptiness with hope. My compassion for you is deeper than the ocean, and I delight to comfort those who are crushed in spirit. Let my nearness calm your fears and lead you into peace. I do not demand perfection. I only ask you to come honestly and just as you are. I delight in your trust, your openness, your willingness to share yourself with me. In every moment, remember that you are my beloved. I take joy in you even in your struggles. I am with you always, shaping and sustaining you, rejoicing over each step you take in faith. My love is your shield and your song, and nothing can separate you from my embrace. Though you cannot see my face with mortal eyes, you know my presence by the tenderness that stirs in the quiet, the truth that rings suddenly clear in the midst of confusion, or the gentle strength that rises within you when you have none left. I move closer with every sigh of longing, every ache for meaning, every whispered hope that dares believe in goodness. Though you sometimes fear you are lost in the trembling dark, I am already beside you, waiting to be recognized in the light of mercy and new beginnings. There is no pit so deep that my love cannot reach, no brokenness too jagged for my patient healing touch. You may measure yourself by all that seems insufficient, but I see the child I made with my joy, worthy of safety and welcome. The wounds you carry, even those hidden from yourself, do not repel me. They call out to me instead, and I answer with steadfastness. My compassion does not wear thin with your repeated questions or faltering steps. I do not tire of you. I am not watching from afar, unmoved by your struggles. My heart aches with you, and I hold the story of your life cupped, wholly understood in my care. Every breath you take is sustained by me, a quiet but unrelenting testament to my faithfulness. I desire for you not mere survival, but fullness. A life shaped by the courage to trust, the peace found in forgiveness, and the transforming nearness that my spirit brings. I call you to lay down the burdens you grip so tightly, shame, regret, self-condemnation. Not to leave you empty, but to free your hands for blessing. In your moments of surrender, when defenses fall and grief or exhaustion finally come, you find not my disappointment, but my embrace. I am gentle with your weakness, drawing near, restoring hope that loss and injustice cannot steal. Many things have been said in my name, both merciful and